This is Kevin Min with Outside the Games. Here at a facility here held by Reggie Jones. It is air football. Obviously, you know, we've heard of air football 7-on-7. We have a player here with us, Kasen Kinchen. He is a class of 20. Kasen, tell us a little bit your position you play.
I play corner and wide receiver.
What do you prefer?
I like defense better.
You like to hit?
Yeah.
Okay, he likes to hit. But it's a pleasure to have Kasen with us. He plays for Lake Stevens. And Lake Stevens, if you do remember, in the 4A, they faced Union this last year, and Union, of course, won the title. But Lake Stevens did have a great season, especially beating a Woodinville team that was pretty tough, then making it. And, you know, I tell you, next year seems to be a promising year for Lake Stevens. But, hey, welcome to our show, Kasen.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, nice to have you. Well, in this thing, we've talked about family life and football. And for you, Kasen, we kind of get into the family aspect because those are the pillars and the foundation of you, okay? Tell me and describe to me what family means to you.
Family to me is someone that's always there for you, always has your back, always pushing you to do your hardest. But like when it comes down to it, there's someone always there for you, no matter how hard things get. Yeah,
loyalty seems to be something that stands out. The stability, them being there, kind of foundation for you to give you some stability in your life, right?
Yeah.
Tell me, now, mom and dad play different roles, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's be clear here on that. Tell me what each role is. First, let's start with your dad. What kind of role does he play for you to kind of provide that family atmosphere, that stability?
My dad's always pushing me to be my best, always on me about my grades, you know. He just always wants the best for me. Always pushed me hard in football. He's the one who made me start playing football, so yeah. And then my mom, she's more there to comfort me, you know. She is still hard on me, but she just does it in a different way.
Yeah, just a little different.
Yeah.
Tell me this, when did you start playing football?
I think when I was about 6 or 7 years old.
So somehow somebody introduced you to the pigskin, right? They put it in your belly and said, "This is a football, son. This is what I kind of want, you know, see what you want to do with it," right? For you in the development, what is it like to work at, you know, doing your craft at football? What is that like, balancing that with family life and home life?
It's pretty good because my dad's actually my coach too, so I work a lot with him. Okay. And then my mom always goes to my games, takes me to training sometimes, so you know it's easy to balance it. Wow,
that's really good. We're going to get on to mentoring. Mentorship is just a huge thing because in every step of the way of you as a student athlete, and again, hashtag student athlete strong if you can. This is a program that is catered to the student athletes to get them to know as a person and a player, and that's what we're doing here. This is, again, Kasen Kinchen, class of 20. So we're talking about mentorship. There are mentors that are come in your life, and there are times of need when they're able to kind of give you some information, some direction on how you can kind of make the right choice and watch you develop in that way. Who are your mentors and why?
My dad's definitely a mentor. He's always been there for me. He's always pushing me to do extra training even though I don't want to. And he's always had my back. And then also my coach, Reggie Jones, for air football. I've been working with him for about 3 years now, and he's always pushing me to. I do extra training with him on the side. And then also just like coaches, my coach Jim and Coach Troy from youth football, they've always been there for me, and now they're at the high school coaching with me. And then also head coach Try, he's always just pushing me, you know.
Now, is this something that obviously there's this balance that they play for Reggie and your father and your mom, right? With the aspect of you being an athlete, right?
Yeah.
But there's the student aspect, and so they have to balance that. Can that be kind of hard sometimes, do you think?
It can be kind of hard balancing the student and the football.
Yeah. Right. How do you fare in balancing that, you as handling the books and being an athlete?
I just got to put extra time in at the subjects. You know, I can't. Some days you're like, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to study tonight after a long training, but you know, you just have to do it.
So that's what I was going to get to, and that's where I was kind of feeding it to, was that wall, right?
Yeah.
You hit that threshold, that wall where it's just like, I can't go anymore. What kind of things help you to motivate you to keep going?
Definitely just my mentors, you know, my dad and my mom, they don't let me slack off on that. They always text me if they see my grades starting to slip, they'll text me right away, you better go talk to your teachers. So I talk to my teachers, and they're pretty lenient towards me. You know, they're always understanding because they know I have a lot going on. Right.
Now, looking at the different mentors, are there any other mentors that stand out to you besides just your parents and Reggie?
As I was saying, like Coach Try, Coach Jim and Troy.
Yeah, so you have some coaches at Lake Stevens, right?
Yeah.
That your position coach at Lake Stevens. What kind of relationship do you have?
My dad's actually my position coach.
Oh, he's your position coach.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect then. And so how does he fare at that? Because he's being a
Yeah.
father and he's also being a coach.
He's definitely harder on me than he is on other boys. You know, I mess
Right.
up a little bit. He's on me right away.
So you get it on the field and you get it at home, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So looking at, we're going to talk about student athlete challenges. I tell you, Kasen, you know, me being a former student athlete myself and having to balance that just whole life part of that with playing sports and actually being a student. Let's take your freshman year. You could remember your freshman year, coming out of middle school, going to freshman year, a new school, right? And you're at Lake Stevens. You've been there all 3 years. Going to be your 4th year. Tell me what that freshman year was like. I mean, it had to have been just like, oh my gosh, where do I go? What classroom where does the lunchroom? Where's the classroom? Where are my classes? Talk to me about
Yeah,
that.
it's definitely a transition. You know, you have to get used to it. Of course, like middle school and stuff is not as hard. So the freshman year is definitely one year. I wouldn't say it's the hardest. Probably junior is the hardest, but freshman year is definitely hard because you have to get used to everything and just like learn the new rules. You know.
Yeah, yeah. And did you find it that there were some challenges with regards to what's challenge stood out that you could remember as a freshman coming in?
Just getting used to the atmosphere. The teachers are definitely a lot different than at CAV. The teachers are, at the middle school, they're a lot easier, you know, and the teachers push you harder. They don't let you slack out the late work. Nope, you know, you have to get work done.
I like how you got to that late work. No, that's not happening, right? So now let's speed up now to your junior year, going to be your senior year. What has changed? Because obviously there's always challenges, you know, but you know, you got through freshman and sophomore year, now you're at your junior year, going to be your senior year.
Yeah.
What has changed for you as far as student athlete challenges?
It's definitely got a lot easier because I kind of know the ropes now. Like I know what I have to do to be great in the classroom and on the field. And definitely now the teachers know I'm kind of becoming more of a recruit and stuff, and they're definitely more lenient towards me. And you know,
Well, we're going to dig deep in the classroom because again, remember, student athlete.
Yeah.
Okay. You as a student. Now let's talk about Kasen on a normal day. Where do you sit in the classroom?
If it's like a subject like math or chemistry, of course, you know, I'm in the front of the classroom. But if it's like English, you know, I'll just sit wherever I want to. You know, I'm pretty good at those subjects.
Yeah.
But if it's a subject I struggle in, then
Math and chemistry, right? What seems to be hard about those two classes? Tell me.
they both have a lot of math in them, so I know I'm not struggling with math.
But chemistry too has that periodical chart.
Yeah.
It's just some people, they have a hard time understanding.
Yeah.
They don't see how it applies sometimes. But then there's lab work, right? You have lab work and you have some of that. How is Kasen taking tests? Are you a good test taker?
Yeah, at times.
Yeah, at times?
Yeah.
What do you have to do to prepare to study though for those tests?
I gotta study extra hard, and I gotta stay in after class or before class, go talk to my teachers about it. If I do bad on a test, then I'll go talk to my teachers, go retake them.
Yeah. We like to talk about that relationship between the teacher and the student. Just like with Reggie Jones, just like your dad, there's that relationship that you have with the student and the teacher, right? I want to ask you a couple questions here. For your teacher, what kind of characteristics or what kind of qualities do you think are important for your teacher to be for you to be a good student?
Definitely caring and understanding, because they know like student athletes have a lot of pressure on them already. It's like normal students get to go home after school and have like 6 hours to do all their work, and then student athletes are working extra hard after school, so they don't have that much time to do everything.
Yeah, do you try to let your teachers know that you're a student athlete?
Yeah.
Helps out, doesn't it,
Yeah.
though? Yeah. And you try to look to do the extra, because sometimes some of them have that mindset of like, okay, he's a student athlete, he's just here to play ball.
Yeah.
But you got to set them straight and say, hey, no, I'm actually trying to be a good student too as well, right? Well, some of them. Now let's reverse that. What kind of qualities for you as a student would you have to make the teacher successful?
I mean, I gotta still work hard. I gotta still turn my work in on time. You know, I can't every day walking like, oh, I need extra time on this, because then after a while they'll just think I'm just slacking off on purpose, you know.
For other student athletes that watch this show, a lot of them kind of watch each other. It's interesting because it's their peers, right?
Yeah.
Tell me what kind of things that Kasen's doing as far as some tools that you use to help remind you of things you need to get done.
Definitely, I'll just talk to my dad about it. If I'm struggling, you know, he'll come to me. He'll just tell me I need to keep working hard. If I'm struggling and stuff, I'll go and talk to my teachers about stuff, you know.
Something about the cell phone.
Oh,
you know, it has reminders on there, right? You try to use that?
Nah, I try to put it down because, you know, it's just...
Good. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good because it can be a distraction, right? For you, I think the thing is too is let's take a look at, as the student, when it comes to challenging parts of what's your favorite class to take right now?
Favorite class, I like history probably.
You like history?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Least favorite class?
Probably chemistry.
Chemistry's a tough one. Yeah. You got to put in the extra work in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always. Are you that kind of student that says, hey, teacher, I would love to do some extra credit. How can I get some done?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah? Helps out.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Now we're going to talk about media.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a big important piece to it. You can look at the high school player, the collegiate, and even the NFL, or any professional sport. Media is an important piece to how you conduct yourself and how you handle the media. Let's take social media as it was. You got Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, which I do not have. Somebody has to teach me how to work that. But the different social media platforms, how does Kasen Kinchen handle the media platforms that you do?
I'll be myself on there, but I know you can't post stupid stuff. College is always watching you, and you just gotta be smart about things.
Something to be said also about your timeline, who you choose to be on your timeline with. You'll see some crazy posts out there, right? Now there's the funny ones, right? There's always humor, but then there's sometimes where situations can get kind of racial, or possibly violent. You try to kind of steer yourself away from some of that, right?
Yeah, I try not to follow all those accounts. Just keep staying focused.
Right. Do you think media is something that student athletes need to be aware of and need to handle correctly?
Yeah, for sure. Because there's a lot of cases where they'll do something stupid on social media, and then now they lose their scholarship, or the coach is not talking to them anymore because what they did on social media.
Crickets, my friend, crickets. Yeah, you don't hear from them anymore. You kind of said, maybe I did something on the Twitter or whatever it was. Let's talk about for you, student athletes, right? Say if you knew of a student athlete at your school and you kind of saw them struggling with something. Maybe you couldn't just pinpoint what it was, but you knew they were struggling with something. Kasen, you went through a lot of stuff from your freshman now to your junior year, now senior. If you could say something to that student athlete, what would it be to kind of help them with something that they're struggling with? What would you think would be important to kind of mention to them?
I would tell them that they just need to take their time getting used to things. If they're struggling, go talk to your teachers. Tell them you're a student athlete so they know what's going on. And you can also ask for help, go to studying after school,
Yeah, very true. Very true. Well, let's talk a little bit. We talked about the student aspect of you, but now let's talk about football, right?
Yep.
Let's start out with the 7-on-7 air football. Reggie Jones and coaches and friends and people. That organization is pretty big.
Yeah, it's huge.
And tell me, you've been playing now going to be 4 years.
3 years.
3 years, but you're going to play.
Yeah.
It goes up to senior.
It goes up to junior year, but you can still do some training with them and stuff.
Okay, there we go. Because some do it different. There's some that do it different, but so what has air football meant for you? Let's take the athlete first, okay? We like to take the student sometimes, but let's take the athlete. What has air football meant for you? And Reggie Jones and the coaches helping you out.
It's definitely improved my game a lot. A lot of these coaches been in the NFL or went D1, or are former coaches or something like that. So they know the game, and they can definitely help me with my ability.
Do you also think that they know the pitfalls? They know what works and what doesn't because they've been through it, right? Kind of helpful, right?
Yeah.
Take it from an aspect of, what does air football do for you as a person? How did it develop you as Kasen Kinchen, the young man about to be a man?
Definitely developed me because before I made a lot of new friends, and it definitely helped my character maybe come out of my shell, because sometimes I'm a little bit shy of a person, but once you get to know everyone, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Something about, especially because we talked about earlier off air about, interviews and things of that sort. Could you remember your first interview that you did?
Yeah, I was with Brandon Huffman.
Yeah.
Actually out there on the red turf over
Oh,
there.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Kind of nervous.
Yeah, I was nervous.
Right, yeah. For air football, now there's been a lot of competition, and for you, let's take your abilities as an athlete, what it's been able to do. Pinpoint for me a couple things that air football's taught you. And you can go from freshman into junior year. What kind of things has it taught you as an athlete?
It definitely taught me to always be competitive, because when you're playing out there at 7-7, that's really competitive out there. People are always talking smack, holding your head, just to be. And then also help me with my footwork a lot, because I always be doing drills with Reggie and stuff. More explosiveness, got the speed coach, strength coach, getting stronger.
Right. Is Kasen Kinchen more of a vocal person, or is he more of just lead by example?
I say it depends.
Depends.
Mm-hmm.
In what way?
So, like, say I'm on my football team, people are just screwing around the whole time, then I'm going to go off on them. But,
okay.
you know,
Let them know.
If they're doing their thing, then I'm going to lead by example.
There you go. That's a good balanced answer. Could you remember a time with air football where you were successful at your position?
Yes.
Take me through it
Like
an experience, a play. Something that kind of stood out to you with air football.
Last tournament, we were in California.
Oh, that's a hotbed right there.
Yeah. It was against it was in the championship game, and I had a one-handed interception.
Whoa, nice. Couldn't believe you made that catch.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. But that was a huge play.
Yeah.
Turned the tide, as it were, right? Momentum. Yeah. Okay. Came out victorious.
Yep.
Trophy.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Just add to the trophy it airs, right? They got a lot of trophies to add in that case, I'm sure. Now let's get to talk about Lake Stevens. Your journey through the high school. Talk to me a little about Lake Stevens, what that's like, what that experience is like. Somebody who's wanting to say, hey, I want to choose a school, Lake Stevens. What would you say about Lake Stevens High School?
Lake Stevens, we're definitely, I'd say, one of the most well-rounded teams out there. Our coaches really push us hard. We got like 35 plus guys in the weight room after school every day. We lift, even during the season, we lift like 2 times a week. You know, the culture around there is definitely a football school. And yeah.
With you as you know, we were talking about last year, right? Did you guys expect to make it that far?
I don't think we know. We didn't.
You didn't? Yeah, it wasn't expected, was it? I mean, you get through. Go ahead.
We always expect to win.
Sure.
We won like 8 in a row West Coast championships, so we know we're always going to win. So I mean, I don't think we thought we were going to get this far to the state championship.
Where did it in the season? Where did it turn for you? Where you said, "Oh my gosh, this is something. We're getting somewhere."
I think about that third game where we beat, I think Lincoln. It was. You know, they got a lot of great athletes on the team. Julian Simon, Jalen Clark. You know, all those guys.
Dimes.
Yeah, dimes.
Caden Filer. Well, I tell you, the thing has been too is that you can find that switch within the team. You can kind of say, okay, this was the turning point of our season, and then just from there on, we started learning how to play and learn how to win together. You faced Woodinville, and Woodinville, a really tough opponent. I think it was like Pop Keeney, wasn't it?
Yeah, Pop Keeney.
Yeah. Now then you get to the Tacoma Dome. Now that, for the seniors, had to have been something special for them, for Lake Stevens, and for the coaches.
Yeah.
Tell me what it was like to prepare for a game like that.
It was crazy. You know, everyone was very intense. Coaches were definitely pushing hard. You know, just definitely a different atmosphere than we're used to. Normally, the players, you know, we're all really pumped though. Yeah.
And you play a tough Union team. Lincoln Victor.
Yeah.
Jojo Sofele, Darian Chase, just to name a couple.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There was a time in that game, though, you guys had momentum, right? Where did it turn for you guys to where things kind of changed a little bit?
We kind of had we would have scored a touchdown. We had a deep ball thrown, and then one of our players fumbled it. They picked up, ran it back down to like the 10-yard line or something crazy like that, yeah.
That hurt. But let's, you know, you went to the championship game, you lost. What did your team take from that loss? What did they learn about themselves? And really, did that kind of give you some momentum to now this year?
Yeah, definitely give them some momentum. But everyone, you know, they probably took away from that game that, you know, you can't give up, because I think we kind of gave up the second half. You always got to compete and keep trying. And I think the seniors definitely regret that they, you know, didn't keep competing the whole time. But next year, yeah, we definitely got a chip on our shoulder. I think we're going to win the whole thing this year.
There you go. There you go. I think the thing can be said, too, is that there's 2 halves, right?
Yeah.
And really, the coaches want you to play a full, complete half. I mean, if there could be a perfect game, that's what they want it, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes there are times either in the first half or second half that just things don't go your way, right? That's kind of adversity that you face. You fight through it. Do you feel that to be a complete player and team, what kind of things do you have to do to fight through times of where, like, say there's mental lapses, say there's penalties where there's, you know, false starts and you know, different things like that. What do you do as a team and a person to help you out.
You definitely have a short-term memory, you know. Always just move on to the next play, keep working, and then also if you see a player starting to get down and stuff, you know, you gotta go hype him up, tell him he's okay. We're gonna get the next one.
Yeah, no, true. Well, tell you, this has been Kasen Kinchen. He's a class of 20 with Lake Stevens and is a member of Air Football and 7-on-7. Tell me, with this year, you got a little bit of air football left, obviously with Reggie. Are you the kind of player that says, you know, I got to leave it all out there? Is that how you handle things?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take me into what you do, Kasen, to kind of prepare for a game, competition. What do you do to start?
I'll turn up the music real loud, got my headphones on, you know, jamming out, dancing around,
Okay,
you know.
all right. Get loose.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Well, I tell you, it's been a pleasure to get to know Kasen a little bit here at Air Football facility here that they've been kind to let us use. But you know, it's been a pleasure to get to know you. I tell you, thank you very much for being on Outside the Games. But we're not done. We have this thing called the Quick Blitz, and we give you questions. People want to know Kasen Kinchen.
Yeah.
They want to know a little bit more about you. Okay, let's start out. Favorite food?
Crab.
Crab?
Yep.
No way.
Nope, love it.
Wow. Are you the kind of guy that has to have a side of butter
Yep.
and dip it?
Yep.
Okay. All right. What's your favorite restaurant to go to get crab?
Probably. No, I don't really go to restaurants to get seafood. Nor my dad will just bring it home.
He
and
brings
cook
it. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's great. Favorite dessert?
Cheesecake.
A lot of athletes like cheesecake. I get that all the time. Naked or with fruit or something on it?
It just depends on how I'm feeling.
Okay. Depends how you're feeling that day. Apple or Android, and why?
Apple, because you know,
Have you had an Android phone?
no, I never will. Apple's way easier to use. You know, I feel like it's just more simple, and you know, it's just everyone has an Apple.
Favorite musical artist for Kasen?
Probably Drake.
Yeah. Scorpion was big.
Yep.
Yeah. We're always looking for something new to drop from him, right? If you had a car to drive, a favorite car that you would love to drive, what car would that be? Or an SUV?
Probably a Ferrari or like an Audi R8, something like that.
Ooh, okay. What color?
Ferrari red, Audi white.
Oh, nice. With black rims.
Black rims.
There we go. Tinted.
Yep.
Can't see who's in the car. All right, okay. Favorite destination spot, if you could choose anywhere in the world to go, Kasen, where would you want to go?
Probably like Paris or something.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Take it there, huh?
Yeah.
European. All right. Eiffel Tower.
Yep.
Right? Some good landmarks over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last movie you saw in the theater?
Endgame.
Oh, how was that?
That was great.
3 hours long.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you must have not have been drinking anything. Because that's the kind of thing you don't want to drink a lot of.
Yeah.
Well, not people who drink soda, but you don't want to drink a lot of anything.
Yeah.
You don't have to miss any of the movie.
Yeah.
You recommend it?
Yeah, definitely
Oh
recommend
yeah.
it. It's
Okay.
great.
All right. All right. Let's take it serious on a couple things. One is, if you were running late, Kasen, into somewhere, okay, you had to let somebody know what's going on, what's happening, why I'm late. Would you call or text, and why?
I would call them because some people don't see their text right away. And if they call, they're probably going to hear their buzzer, and they know it's more meaningful if you call them.
Yeah, no, that's good. Kasen, if you could change one thing in the world, if you could impact something in the world that you could do, what would that one thing be?
Maybe not so much like just fighting, like, you know, wars and you know, terrorist attacks and stuff like that. Because, you know, humans, you know, they should all be family. You don't need to really fight about things.
Yeah.
Just come together.
Totally. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. Are you a headphones or earphones guy?
Probably earphones.
Yeah. You don't want to mess with the hair.
Yeah.
See, I knew it. I knew that was going there with that.
Yeah.
I tried to guess that. Favorite cleat to wear on the field, Kasen? Tell me.
Definitely Adidas, probably.
3 stripe. How did I know?
Yep.
All right. Yeah. For you, favorite shoe to wear?
Ooh. No, all just depends. I've been trying to change it up a little bit, but I mean, it just depends what's out really. But, you know, I never go wrong with some like Air Force Ones or some all white ones.
Oh, okay. All right. I was thinking Jordans, but
Yeah.
trying to change your game a little bit, right? Yeah. For you, If you could, look at how a person is handling them being a student athlete, what is the number one thing could you say that they need to be aware about?
Definitely probably social media, because
Yeah.
people, like, if you go to a party, even though it's not on your phone, someone could take a video of you at the party.
Isn't that crazy?
And now you're done still.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Now, back in Reggie's day, in my day, you didn't have to worry
Yeah.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like everything is, a fight breaks out
Yeah.
and everybody's got their phone
Yeah.
out, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. So one last question for you, okay? All right. What do you prefer? Do you prefer some messed up Air Force Ones? Say you're going to buy some Air Force Ones at Nike. You come home, you try them on, and doggone it, there's a blemish on the shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Would you prefer that, or prefer them being outside the games?
Being outside the game.
He knew it. That's right. Kasen Kinchen, I tell you, it's been a pleasure to really get to know you as a player and a person. We believe in that. Also, one quick thing we believe that stronger student athletes make stronger communities. What kind of thing do you think that you could do in the community to make things better?
Definitely just community service hours. Maybe going to the youth football players' games. They really look up to you at the high school.
Totally. Well, I'll tell you, it's been a pleasure to really get together with Air Football a little bit, their program. Also, Kasen Kinchen here. If you haven't checked them out, please do. Lake Stevens, I'm sure their schedule's out already, right? Should it be out? You have your schedule out already?
We might. I'm not 100% sure though.
Okay, so be tuned in on that. Kasen Kinchen is a returning player, class of 20. This guy's going to be quite an athlete on and off the field as a student as well. But Lake Stevens is looking to make some noise this year. They got a little taste of what championship football is all about. Obviously, Air Football has prepared him on some of that, on that level too, as far as his skills and mental preparation and being ready for the season to contribute. So again, thank you again for being on our show and Outside the Games.
Yeah, thank you for having me out.
Nice to have you. This has been Kevin Menn with Outside the Games. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.